On Thursday night, Jews around the world will go looking throughout every corner and crevice in their home for chametz. It's called the search of the chametz, bedikat chametz. But as we search for the physical chametz, it's also the time to search for the spiritual chametz. Our rabbis compare chametz to the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, and taking a candle internally and looking in every corner of our being and finding our internal chametz and getting rid of those negative traits and habits and characteristics and tendencies and destroying them and burning them and eliminating them is the spiritual cleansing that we have to do simultaneously as we do the physical cleansing. And we find that I once heard from Rabbi Jonathan Sachs said, what's the difference between a rabbi and a rebbe, a Hasidic rebbe? He says a rebbe talks to 3,000 Hasidim, and every Hasid walks away and says, the rebbe was talking straight to me, to my heart, to my neshama, what I needed to hear. He says a rabbi gives a sermon to 300 people, and everyone says, the rabbi really let that guy have it. He really spoke to that other guy, he told him what he had to hear. It's very easy to search for someone else's chametz and find fault in other people. What we really have to do is search for our own internal chametz. Today's parsha is about Shmini, the 8th day, when Aharon was inducted and inaugurated into the service in the temple as the high priest. And we found just now, we read the Torah portion, we have Moshe says to Aaron, Krav al HaMizbeach, go up to the altar and begin doing the service. So Rashi says, why did Aaron need this encouragement from Moshe to go up to the altar and perform the service? Wasn't this the big day he was waiting for to begin his service? And Rashi says that when it came time to go forward, Aaron became paralyzed. He couldn't move. Why? Because he was ashamed. He said, how can I go and serve on the altar as the Kohen Gadol when I had a very crucial role in the golden calf? He was so ashamed of his role, his participation, his involvement in the golden calf, that he felt he wasn't worthy of going to serve on the altar. So Rashi says that Moshe says, no, don't be ashamed. L'kach nivcharta. That's why you were chosen. Because you have that heightened spiritual awareness and sensitivity, that you feel shame, you feel regret, you feel remorse, you feel guilt. That's why you were chosen. A lesser person wouldn't bother him their mistakes. The person who's bothered by the mistakes, that shows a higher caliber individual. And that's the idea of bedikat chametz. Don't look for someone else's chametz, look for your own chametz. Have self-awareness. But the fact that you have chametz and you're trying to rid yourself of your chametz, that in itself is a virtue. And the effort and the attempt is what is the mitzvah unto itself. If you don't find the chametz, you don't, but at least you try to search yourself. And I'll just conclude with a story. They tell a story. The Chafetz Chaim once called a rabbi to his home, and he said, I got a letter from a certain community. They need a rabbi. I want you to go to this community and serve as the rabbi. And this man said, me? To this community? I'm not worthy. I'm not deserving. I'm not learned enough. I'm not godly enough to be a rabbi in a community. I'm not compassionate enough. I'm not deserving of that position. And the Chafetz Chaim looked at him and said, who do you want me to send to be a rabbi? Someone who thinks he is learned enough, he is God-fearing enough, he is righteous enough? That's why I chose you, because of your humility. You'll always try to grow and become better and better. A person should never see themselves as complete. A person should always see themselves on a journey towards greater and greater spiritual freedom.